What's going on, world? And welcome to Clearing the Wreckage Podcast. It's the voice and your host, Kareem A. Rashid. And once again, I don't know what you got going on. You could be getting on the toilet or you could be getting off the toilet. Hell, for all I know, you could be wiping your tushy. But I know that I'm ready. And so I hope that you're ready to clear the wreckage. Yes, indeed. Well, what's going on with you today, my fellow Wreckage Clearers, my peeps, my family, my community? I love being with you every single week. I love coming to you and having a great conversation, a very exciting conversation, a very enlightening conversation, yes, that we are going to have today. And I propose a question. Is anyone really secure? You know, the last couple of weeks we've been talking about attachment styles, and the main attachment style that we have went over the last couple of weeks is anxious attachment style. The reason we talked about that is because that is who I was. And remember the setting, we are back in 2020, right? Through 2022. I still was having that anxious attachment style, and this was the time frame, well, when I was married, I was saying between 2018 to 2022, and even still now, not too much now, because I've actually moved a little bit, I progressed onto a different attachment style, and I want to talk about that today. So, is anyone really secure? That is going to be our conversation today, our title, so to speak. And that's what we're going to talk about. And the only reason we are discussing this today is because I promised you. I said, we're going to talk about secure attachment style. We're going to talk about it. And then last week we didn't, right? So I got to be a man of my word and uphold that. And let's talk about it today. And then the other reason why we're talking about it is because you and I, we have a reservation at the table, my friends. A reservation at the table with those of us, the rest of us in this world that are securely attached individuals, right? But as you know, we are on a journey, and one day we will all be secure. But don't get it twisted. Because even when you get to this place, because I have transitioned, my friends. I have transitioned from anxious attachment style all the way to secure attachment style. I've transitioned. Now, hear me when I say this clearly now. I still have anxious attachment style. But I am transitioning into secure attachment style. That's what I should have said earlier. I'm transitioning into it. I have not transitioned, not quite yet, but I am. And I'm here to share that journey with you. Because as you want to sit on that table, I want to sit at that table too. But like I said, don't get it twisted. Okay? Because once we get there, that doesn't mean that the work is done. That doesn't mean, oh, man, we're secure now. We don't have to ever work on ourselves or anything like that. No. It just means that we've gotten to a place, and that's cool, but we still have work to do on the inside because we still must keep our side of the street clean, right? So let's talk about the secure person, that securely attached person, real quick. When it comes to the person with secure attachment style, this person is among the 56 to 62 percentile of the rest of adults who fall into this secure category. This makes secure attachment the most common style. Could you believe that? See, for years, I thought anxious attachment was the most common style. But no, secure attachment is the most common style. But it also does mean that nearly 4 out of 10 adults carry one of those insecure attachments, whether it's anxious, avoidant, or fear avoidant. Right? But this research that I just shared with you is backed by Milkison, Kessler, and Shaver. They did a study and research back in 1997. This still holds weight till this day. All right? So to answer the proposed question, yes, people really are secure. In fact, 56 to 62% of adults are securely attached. Wow. Now, so you may say, okay, great, Kareem, what does that mean? I wonder if I'm one of those percentiles. Well, we'll get to that. And what does that mean? Let's talk about some of the characteristics. Or maybe at this time when I list some of these things and I talk about it, and maybe if you see yourself here, then you might be in that percentile of the 56 to 62% of adults who are securely attached. All right? So first, though, let's unpack what secure attachment style really is. Basically, what this is, it just means that typically how this is formed is that the caregiver was consistently responsive. Right? They were emotionally attuned and emotionally available. So the child learns that, hey, you know what? If I have a need, someone will be there. You know what? My little world is safe. You know what? I'm also worthy of love. Man, these people love me. My caregivers love me. They feel it, they see it, they receive it. Right? So that's what that is. And that normally comes from just the parents who receive the same. Because what we do as humans is we just generate, no pun intended when I say generate, we generate the same bond that we received from our parents. So it's a generational thing. Right? So a person with secure attachment style is comfortable with emotional intimacy. Not only that, they're comfortable with being alone. The securely attached individuals trust their partner's love without needing that constant reassurance. They can sit with their partner in silence. This one right here is going to get you, right? Because, see, I used to think, I must say something all the time. If I'm not talking or if we're not having a conversation, then we don't love each other. Or our relationship is falling apart because, oh no, we don't have anything to talk about. Well, blow your mind right now. Guess what? That is a sign of a healthy relationship. There's nothing wrong with sitting in silence with your partner for a little while. You don't have to always have something in the background or somebody saying something, some chitter chatter, or making conversation to feel okay with your partner. The securely attached person is okay with themselves, first and foremost. That is what makes them secure. They're okay with themselves. They're okay with being alone by themselves. So you being included in the room with them is just you being included as another person in the room with them. They don't have to talk to you to feel okay with themselves. You catch my drift? You understand what I'm saying to you? So that is some of the characteristics of a securely attached person in a relationship. Now, also, they are able to communicate their needs directly and clearly. There's no beating around the bush or explaining themselves. There's no drops of hints. Oh, well, if my partner will read my mind, there's none of that. They trust their partner's love without needing constant reassurance, and they communicate their needs directly and clearly. Hey, baby, check this out. I need blah, blah, blah. I need for you to take the trash out. I need for you to wash your dish when you get done using it, please. Simple communication, and you communicate clearly. Right? They're also able to handle conflict without escalating or withdrawing. If you cannot have a conversation with your partner without the flames bursting, then you are not securely attached yet, my friends. You have not transitioned all the way to that. Now, granted, I understand that at times there are going to be arguments, there are going to be conflict, right? You know, we're human, we're going to do that with one another. But if you can't have a conversation without it igniting, then we need to look inside, my friends, and we need to also realize that we're not quite there yet, and that's okay, because I'm going to give you some mindset shifts and things that I do to get myself to that place of being securely attached by the end of this conversation, okay? But let's continue to go over the characteristics. They can also repair arguments quickly and genuinely. So the anxious attached person will probably try to repair that argument quickly because they want you to feel okay with them. Ooh, boy, I'm about to start preaching up in here to you. Oh, wait, let me say I'm sorry so that they can love me, so that they won't leave me, so that they can forgive me. Because if I don't say I'm sorry, no, they're going to leave me. They're going to leave me. Woo, boy, that is the anxious attached person right there. So the securely attached person is just genuine. Hey, let's fix this. Hey, you want to talk about what happened earlier? You know, we really didn't get to a resolution. Can we discuss that, please? That is a securely attached person. The anxious attached person will probably try to repair that quickly just so that they can receive the validation from their partner, but they can also withdraw. And this could be the avoidant person as well. The avoidant attachment person, the avoidant attached person, I should say, will probably withdraw as well, but also the anxiously attached person can form a withdrawal stance, I should say. And what I mean by that is, you know what? I'm not going to talk to them all day. I'm pissed. I'm not going to talk to them. Let's see who's going to, and then you start testing. Let's see who's going to be the first one to say something, to say I'm sorry. That is withdrawing as well, and that can happen. Okay? Now, the other thing is that they support their partner's independence without feeling threatened. You know, that's a securely attached person. Go ahead, do what you got to do. I ain't worried about you. Have fun. I mean, you may not be saying it like that, and they may not be saying it like that, but they're like, sure. They encourage it. They promote it. They know that they are fine and they are sustained and they are okay without them. That is the securely attached person because they already know that they are worthy of love. Yes, please go pursue your hobbies. Go pursue your interests and the things that you're interested in. Please go hang out with other friends. Space for two is rather promoted than demoted or prohibited in a anxious and avoidant relationship. So, but if you have two securely attached people, they both are going to promote their partner's independence. Okay? So how it also looks is they also reach out during those stressful moments rather than isolating. They just reach out. They just, hey, I'm feeling stressed out. I need some support. They're also able to maintain a positive viewpoint of both themselves and their partner. They're not looking at their partner and in their head they are saying all these things about their partner that is negative. Instead, they are viewing their partner as a valuable person. A person that brings weight into the relationship. So this is the place that we want to go. This is the place that we want to get to, right? I believe everybody on earth probably wants to be that securely attached adult, every adult at least. Now, however, being securely attached does not mean the absence of difficult emotions. Okay? Doesn't mean that you won't have any difficult emotions. Doesn't mean that, I'm securely attached. I'm not human anymore. I'm perfect. Nope. Doesn't mean that either. It means you have now the capacity to experience those emotions without becoming dysregulated. Yes. Or even being able to have those emotions, but not allowing them to control your behavior. Yes. So what this looks like again in relationship form, I'll give you a couple of examples. You may become angry, and that's okay. I mean, that's a regular emotion, right? Nobody's telling you that you can't be angry, but you don't react from anger and become volatile. So a person in a secure attachment style is angry, but they don't react to that anger and become volatile. Or it can look something like this. Your partner may say something that hurts, right? Instead of you getting defensive or reacting to that exact hurt or that exact wound that your partner just touched, you pause. You may say something like, that hurt. I need a moment. I need a minute. I would love to talk about it in a little bit. You acknowledge that, hey, that was painful, partner. But and then you ask for a moment. Now, can I just have a moment to process this, please? However, I would love to come back to this. So how it looks when communicating and handling conflict in a securely attached relationship where two partners, they're talking about two partners now, are securely attached. Because this is where we want to be. We want husband, wife, husband, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, or whatnot to be healthy in their communication and healthy in conflict resolution. So we're talking about two securely attached individuals. Now, they say what they mean, and they mean what they say. This is one of my mottos and slogans that I try to live by. Just say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't beat around the bush. Don't be saying all this other stuff. This is the motto that I live by. You know why? Because I don't have time for the games. I am not a kid. Kids play games. I am a grown adult. Kids play with toys. I'm not a toy. Kids play games. I'm not a joystick that you can throw around and throw down to the ground and because you're upset because you just lost the game. No. Can't do that with me because I am neither one of those things. I'm not a joystick, nor am I a game. I'm not Grand Theft Auto. You can't just slap me around. No. Can't just shoot me because you're angry. No. Can't do that. I am a grown adult. I say what I mean what I say. Simple as that. Also, I am not blaming you for how I feel. The securely attached individuals are not walking around in their relationship going, you made me feel. They're not doing that. They may have a moment of doing that, but then I guarantee you they'll get back to wait. You know what? I shouldn't have said that, babe. You know what? You did not make me feel that way. I should have used I statements. I should have said I feel hurt or I felt hurt. That's how the securely attached person in relationships is they're more focused on fixing the issue at hand rather than blaming the other person. The anxious attached person is just going to shoot blame right away. You made me feel, you made me feel. Every time they're going to use those words. And that is the anxious attached person. And they do that because they're trying to receive validation from the other person. So the secure attached person learns how to use I statements, and that's what they use. I feel hurt. I felt hurt. Now, also, they try to listen to their partner's side without needing to attack or combat, right? Without needing to be defensive, or they're not inside of their head, oh my God, I got something to come back with that. Oh, no, he's trying to make me. They're not trying to win. In other words, when they're having a conversation with their partner, it is their time to talk, then they're silent, and then it's their time for the partner to talk. Then their partner's silent. That is a healthy, securely attached relationship between two people who are securely attached. This is what we want to get to, my friends, in a relationship with romance and in a relationship with every other adult on this earth. The other thing is they try to resolve tension quickly, not let it fester. Not let it fester, not hold that grudge and then, go and play the silent treatment. Again, we're not kids. But the anxiously attached person is doing that because, you know what? This is something that happened. They're triggered. This is something that happened in childhood. I had no voice. I didn't know how to express myself. I couldn't express myself. Mom and dad weren't there. Then, even sometimes when I tried to express myself, I was told to be quiet or I'm going to give you something to cry about. So that person that's anxiously attached, they don't really know how to express themselves at all. They don't know how to resolve tension. They barely even know what the tension is that they're feeling. And when that tension comes, they feel like, oh no, somebody's going to leave me. So the securely attached person, they resolve the tension quickly, they do not let it fester, and they do not assume that just because there is a fight, that means that the relationship is going south, and that means that someone is leaving me. In other words, basically what they realize is that they are human, and that arguments will happen at times between two adults, and that's okay. Securely attached person also has their own life, their own hobbies, their own friends, their own gatherings, their own places to be, their own goals outside of their romantic relationship. They, in fact, encourage their partner to spend time away with friends or spend time with your personal hobbies or your interests. They do not demand all of their partner's time. And they are fine when their partner doesn't text them or call immediately. The securely attached person also assumes good intent. Remember that positive viewpoint? They assume that good intent. They look at their partner and they know my partner is good. Their intentions are good. They're not trying to hurt me. They trust their partner. Obviously, until there is a reason for them not to. But they are not looking for reasons to not trust their partner. That's the difference. They share their dreams, they share their goals, they share their fears. They share their everyday stuff openly. They also admit when they need some type of support without feeling too needy, without feeling too much, without feeling weak, without feeling like a burden, without feeling ashamed. I'm too short. Can you please help me? Simple as that. They don't feel ashamed. Well, I probably should try to do it myself because that's what I was taught as a kid, to do everything myself. They don't feel ashamed. They just, you know what, I'm too short. I can't reach this. Hey, babe, can you help me? Simple. That's a securely attached person. Here are some of the shifts that we can do. Here are some things that I practice. And so let me share this with you. And let me share it with you real quick because, see, I know you may ask me, well, how do we clear the wreckage on this, Kareem? And the first thing I will say to you is you need to pause when agitated. This is something that I am learning, and this is something that I have learned. Notice that I said learning and learned because I learn it, and then I have to relearn it, and then I learn it again, and I have to relearn it again. Pause when agitated. Yes, you feel that agitation coming. Your partner is saying something to you and you can just feel yourself becoming agitated. Boy, you need to pause. You need to just pause before you say anything. And that is okay. That is quite all right. And also, it's quite all right for you to take a few moments. It's quite all right. It's quite all right for you to ask for what you need. Remember the example I gave you? You can pause for a few moments and you can say, hey, babe, that really hurt. I need just a couple of minutes to process this. Or you can be like, I understand what you're saying. Hey, can I have just a couple of moments to myself so that I can think about what you're saying? And I would love to get back with you on this particular topic. And that's it. Simple. So you want to focus on that you don't have to fix everything right now. That's what you want to focus on. Okay, it doesn't have to be fixed right now. I can grant my partner space, and I may need a little bit of space. I may need to take a few moments to cool down after this argument. And one of the things that I do now in my relationship, and at first, my partner didn't really understand it, but one of the things I do now is I just go, hey, I need to leave. I got to go for a moment. And they didn't really understand it, and I came back, I explained, I said, you know what, it's best sometimes for me to walk away from the situation and go and gather myself because I'm not going to respond, I'm going to react. Remember, we talked about the difference between respond and react in previous episodes. Yeah. But because I know that about myself, so I see when I'm being triggered, I see when I'm being agitated now, okay, you know what, I need to take a few moments, right? And so the other thing that I do, when these are your shifts that you can practice, is I tolerate discomfort. The reason I do that is because my therapist shared with me, Kareem, you need to learn how to sit in your anxiety. Now, I've shared this with you several times before, But this is real. The anxiety is only temporary. This too shall pass. You sit in the temporary anxiety. Tolerate that discomfort. And then the other thing is you got to learn how to self-soothe. You got to start self-soothing by what? Breathing, by walking, or you can even distract yourself. Go play a video game. If you're a guy that likes playing video games or something, go play a video game. But you got to self-soothe. All right, so reframe also the time apart by viewing that your partner's hobbies or hangouts or time with friends is a time for them to recharge and regroup rather than taking it personally. Oh, they just trying to get away from me. Oh, they must be don't like me. Oh, man, this relationship is ending. Oh, they thinking about leaving me because they're never home. What if it has nothing to do with you? What if, oh my goodness, the anxious attached person is so self-centered that everything revolves around them? I'm just going to tell you how it is. How I know that is because that was me. Everything that my ex-wife did, everything that my ex-girlfriend did, I thought it had something to do with me. Oh, she ain't returning my text. Oh, man, she must be mad at me. Oh, it ain't got nothing to do with you. Dude, calm down. Everything is okay. One of the things that I say to myself now is when I feel that anxiety or I feel that agitation, I go, you know what? Calm down. Everything is okay. The world is not collapsing. There's not a fire outside. There's not a fire in the house. There's nothing actually happening that can hurt me right now physically. I am safe. And so the last thing is start investing in yourself. Stop worrying about investing in your partner so much. Trust that your partner knows that you love them. Trust that your partner knows that you love them, that all that. Just trust. And invest in yourself by cultivating your own passions. Set your own goals or your friendships that you might want to pursue. Do not shrink, in other words, is what I'm saying. Do not shrink for your partner. Instead, expand your world. Do not shrink your world. Expand your world. Add to your world. You know, one of the things that happens now in my life, my partner may not understand sometimes, and I believe that she does now when I explain it to her, but, you know, she goes out of town or whatever, or she's about to get ready to go out of town, you know, and she'll ask, you know, why don't you come with me? You want to come with me? Come with me, you know. And, you know, the last time she went out of town, I declined. I said, you know what? No, I'm good. I'm just going to stay here. You know, and I'm able to do that because I'm okay with myself. I'm going to stay here. Now, if I was still searching for validation, she wouldn't go visit her family. So get this. If I was still searching for validation from her and from her family, I would have packed my clothes and I would have hopped in that car with her and went. I would have been like, nah, okay, yeah, you going? Yeah, let me go. So that I could present my best self to your family and to you because this is what you want, so that's what I'm going to do, right? So the anxiously attached person is such a people pleaser, and I don't want you to be like that. I want you to get to that secure spot that is reserved for you and I so that we can become people who please ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing selfish about it at all. Taking time for ourselves so we can become those people that are okay with ourselves by just sitting by ourselves. We can become okay with ourselves by knowing and trusting, man, our partner is good. This person is good for me. This person is not doing anything wrong. What this person is they're bringing value and adding value to my current life. And I appreciate them so much. Their intentions are good. Their intentions are always in the right place of trying to better me, trying to help me, trying to support me. And that is how we need to look at one another in our romantic relationships. And then that's how we need to look at one another in general, right? As adults. Okay? That's really all I got for you today. Go ahead and share this episode with someone you love, someone that you know who may be anxiously attached, or share it with those people that you may know that are securely attached. My homework for you is to observe those around you who are securely attached. You may know a couple. You may have friends of yours, that are in a securely attached relationship. Observe them. Learn from them. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Follow this podcast on Instagram, I should say. Sorry about that. Follow this podcast on Facebook. We have a Facebook group. We have an Instagram group. All you have to do is type in Clearing the Wreckage. We'll pop right up. And don't forget to DM me for any questions, advice, suggestions, anything that you may have. I love you so much. I do. I really do. And as I always leave you, take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to